Good morning, everybody. So we are on week 4 of our fantasy unit. And just for a quick minute, I want to remind you of the lessons that you have learned. You have learned that you pay close attention to the setting to understand why it's important. You've also learned that problems can grow and change over time. You've also learned that we need to pay attention to what characters say and think and do to understand them better, and that characters are complex, they're complicated. This will be our last week of our fantasy unit. And to culminate this unit, we are going to focus on what the characters learn during the midst of their struggle, or what themes are the characters learning? What life lessons are we noticing in our fantasy books? And a lot of the lessons that our characters learn are also lessons that we can learn in our own lives. And so to get our minds thinking about theme and life lessons, I want to show you a couple video clips of movies that you may be familiar with that show you these moments when characters have a realization, where they learn something and they help us also learn life lessons. The first video I want you to watch is again from the movie Rapunzel. And it's a great video clip because it's the moment that Rapunzel realizes that Mother Gothel is not really her mother, that she has tricked her and used her, and Rapunzel is angry. And she decides to stand up to Mother Gothel. And I want you to watch this video clip, and as you're watching it, I want you to think, what is the life lesson that we could take away from this video clip?
Are you all right? I'm a lost princess. Please speak up, Rapunzel. You know how I hate the mumbling.
I am the lost princess, aren't I? Did I mumble, Mother? Or should I even call you that?
Oh, Rapunzel, do you even hear yourself? Why would you ask such a ridiculous question?
It was you! It was all you!
Everything I did was to protect you. Rapunzel,
I've spent my entire life hiding from people who would use me for my power.
Rapunzel!
When I should have been hiding from you!
Where will you go? He won't be there for you.
What did you do to him?
That criminal is to be hanged for his crimes. No, it's all right. Listen to me. All of this is as it should be.
No! You were wrong about the world. And you were wrong about me. And I will never let you use my hair again!
In that short clip, Rapunzel shows us a few different lessons that we can learn. And because you are 5th graders, you are going to be able to discover multiple themes in your books. And so in this video clip, you saw Rapunzel show us that it is important to speak the truth and to fight for the truth. Mother Gothel had lied to her for so long, and she had to speak and fight for that truth. But we also saw other themes. We saw a theme such as this: power can corrupt or cause people to act in an untrustworthy way. Mother Gothel had power over Rapunzel, and it ended up causing Mother Gothel to be corrupt or untrustworthy. We can also learn other themes from this video clip, like sometimes things are different than they first appear. All those years, Rapunzel thought Mother Gothel was a loving mother. And as it turns out, things were very different than they first appeared. So this is the kind of thinking you want to do in your book as well. you want to think about the multiple themes that you can learn from your book. In the next part of the video, I'm going to show you how this work can look with your book. I'm going to show you a small excerpt of the book Dragon of Cripple Creek. So stay tuned in the next segment as I show you a piece of text and how we can use that to think about a theme or a life lesson. Okay, boys and girls, in this excerpt, it reads, "Now it's mine. Promise? Ever since that dreadful day, I've asked myself, promise what? Whatever the answer, the ring connects me to Mom. I wear it with a hope that someday I'll put it back on her hand, look into her eyes and know she really sees me, with no darkness in between." Now, when I read this excerpt, I can see some very important pieces. I can see her saying, the ring connects me to Mom. I wear it with a hope that someday I'll put it back on her hand, look into her eyes and know she really sees me. This shows me that this ring, it is like a symbol of a connection with her mom. And it helps me understand a life lesson that sometimes an object can connect us to other people. Okay, so let's talk about your notebook this week. Now for today's assignment, I want you to set your notebook up like this. Now there's also a graphic organizer attached to this assignment, and you're welcome to use that if you'd like. If you're going to use your notebook, you should pause the video now and take a moment to sketch this in your notebook. Notice I have the title at the top, and then I've created two rows. One row with blocks for a theme statement, and then a row beneath that with the label of evidence. Now, inside the theme boxes, I'm really pushing myself to think of more than one theme that I am learning in my book. So for example, in the Dragon of Cripple Creek, one theme I have learned is that some objects help us connect with others. And my evidence would be, I wear it with hope that someday I'll put it back on her hand, look into her eyes. And I know that that ring is a connection between Kat and her mom. Now I'm going to work on the rest of my chart and then share it with you in a minute. Okay, so I've spent a little time looking through my book and trying to find other themes that the characters teach me. And what I have found is that the theme that people deal with their emotions in different ways is something that I have learned through the character Kat. And some of the evidence I have is that when their mother ended up in the hospital, the family dealt with that grief in a lot of different ways. The text says this: Dad dug into medical research. He was chained to his laptop. Her brother Dylan became a clever comic. And Kat, she started a journal. So that helped me learn the life lesson that people deal with their emotions in different ways. I also learned this life lesson, that sometimes it is difficult to do the right thing. Now, I learned that lesson when I read this piece of text evidence, that when Kat ends up with the dragon's gold in her pocket and she is full of guilt, she really feels like she should give it back. She shouldn't have stole it. She's too ashamed to do it. It says in the text, I was too ashamed to return it. Too ashamed for him to know. And so that helped me learn the life lesson that sometimes it's really difficult to do the right thing. Now in your notebook this week, you're going to create a chart that looks like this, where you give yourself the chance to think of more than one theme that you've learned in your book and to give some evidence of how did you learn that life lesson. Again, you can use the organizer that I've included in the attachments. You can also check out the attachment of some possible theme ideas in case you're having a hard time coming up with some. That might just get your mind thinking. Enjoy this lesson, and I'll talk to you soon.